Welcome to Dream Body Creations. Hi ladies, it's Amy here from Dream Body Creations. If you're watching this exclusive 10 tips to melt the fat presentation, it means that you've gotten your hands on the Dream Body 10 tips to melt the fat DVD pack, which not only includes the 10 tips to melt the fat presentation, but also the Dream Body workout pack, Dream Body mindset video, plus the Dream Body kickstart. Now this kickstart is awesome and I recommend that you activate this as soon as possible. It includes a 12-day 5-star gym facility access pass, a 45-minute goal setting session, a 30-minute private full body toning session, plus a team session pass to Dream Body Creations. To activate your kickstart, email us at amy@strongholdfitness.com.au. I'd like to congratulate you because you've taken the first step. You've taken the first step to achieving the dream body that you've always wanted. This step puts you a step ahead of the rest, and I can't wait to see your journey unfold. Now, if you've been searching for a way to lose excess weight, get fit, start feeling good about yourself, then this is going to be the most important presentation you will ever watch. Big call? Maybe, but don't brush that comment off. Because I know, without a shadow of a doubt, that we can show you exactly how to lose up to 10 kilos in 30 days and keep it off. I guarantee that if you do the simple things I tell you and implement the kickstart, you'll increase your fitness and get down to that dress size you so desperately want. Don't believe me? But what if I'm about to tell you is actually true? The reason I'm so confident in making this promise to you is because most women who don't succeed are given improper fitness training and incorrect nutritional information. But hey, let's stop there before I go into the technical stuff. Just sit back for a moment and imagine. Imagine in just 30 days from today being 10 kilos lighter, looking into the mirror to discover the slim, fit, happy, highly energized new you. And imagine how hot you now look and how confident and sexy you feel at the pool or beach. Wouldn't it be great? Imagine feeling really good in that new outfit, and it's a smaller dress size. It's going to match the confident new you. Imagine being recognized by the guys at work as the new stunner. And yes, I'm talking about you. Now, more importantly, imagine having your family and friends see the change within you. How great it would be for them to notice how fit and how amazing you feel. And of course, they're going to want to know what your secret is. But I guess the question is, will you actually tell them how you got fit and how you lost all that weight so quickly? So before I uncover the 10 tips that are going to help you achieve some amazing fat loss results, I'd like to show you some proof. I'm going to show you the proof of how the 10 tips to melt the fat actually works. Check it out. Women of Australia are currently getting rid of their unwanted body fat, fighting their cravings and raging hormones, and these are women who never thought that they could. I'd like to take a moment to congratulate all the women who have implemented the 10 tips to melt the fat, and especially those women who have come along for the Dream Body program journey. You guys look awesome. I'm going to highlight a select few, some outstanding results that have taken place. Check out Cassie. Cassie took on board the Dream Body program and has implemented the 10 tips to melt the fat. She's a full-time teacher and mother and managed to tone and shape her back. She loves fitting into her tighter dresses and wow, check out the result. Check out Janelle. Janelle is over 28 kilos down from her original body weight. Her husband has to look twice to recognize her. He always loved her, but wow, does he love what he sees. Janelle's an inspiration. She's truly showing us in the Dream Body team sessions how to live the healthy, active lifestyle. Check out Joy Chapman. Joy works full-time and is also a mum. She's lost over 20 kilos and now has the confidence to stand in front of a camera and like what she sees. Her confidence is displayed in these images and she looks fantastic. Check out Kylie. Kylie's lost over 20 kilos. She's now even becoming a fully qualified personal trainer. She's shown us that it's possible to change your complete lifestyle for the better, and she's loving it. Check out Lynn. She's an inspiration. She's over 34 kilos from her starting weight, and she used the Dream Body program to start loving the skin she's in. She's finally buying that smaller dress size and loving the shopping experiences. So guys, the women I've just shown you in these images are real people, just like you. The only difference is they've already taken action towards creating their dream body. They've used the 10 tips to melt the fat throughout their journeys, and they've also enlisted in the further support of the Dream Body programs and services. So I guess you're wondering who we are. Well, I'm Amy, and to my left in the photo is my partner Lee, and together we're the directors of a personal training business called Stronghold Fitness. We are the founders of the Dream Body program, and amongst a range of qualifications, our standout quality is that we've had industry experience since 2008. We also have the advantage of managing a highly successful team of trainers whom live and breathe our methods and are the true faces of our programs. Now, throughout my industry experience since 2008, I've been privileged in seeing hundreds of women succeed at their dream body journeys. I've also seen many women fail. It's because of that I've carefully selected the 10 most crucial tips that have proven to getting women towards their success stories. And these are the 10 tips that are going to help melt the fat. Now, please note, I have not come up with these 10 tips on my own. No, I've carefully documented the journey of hundreds of successful women whom have lost the weight and kept it off forever. I then did my research on the key elements that enabled these women to succeed, and I've put it into a simple, easy to read and follow 10 tips to melt the fat ebook. So I want to take a moment now and ask you a couple of questions before we get started. Make sure you've got a pen and paper with you, and once you hear these questions, just pause the video to allow you some time to write. I would like to know, what are your key frustrations? So take a moment now, pause this video, and jot them down. Now that you're back with us, I want to see if any of those key frustrations relate to some of the ones that I've seen in the past. Over the hundreds of women that I've trained, they've all had some things in common before they've gotten started. So let's check it out. Do any of your key frustrations relate? Are you unable to remove unwanted body fat? Can you not get enough time to look after yourself or commit to a program due to work or family life? Are you struggling to find weight loss methods that actually work? Have you lost the weight before, but somehow never been able to keep it off for good? Are you constantly fighting the cravings, raging hormones, and noticing that no matter how many programs you try, you always fall into self-sabotage? Have you delayed starting your journey because you haven't really found a program that has matched your budget or affordability? If you've related to any of the following, then that's okay. It's quite common. The next question that I want to ask, but before I do, I want to let you know, I guess, that it's really not your fault. But I would like to highlight that it is your responsibility to take action. So out of the women that have succeeded, one key factor that they did have is that they didn't stop at just educating themselves. They took action to then implementing what they learned. So remember that when we get through the 10 tips. Now remember, a great way to take action would be to activate your free kickstart. This will give you your 12-day gym access, your 45-minute goal setting, your 30-minute private PT session, plus your team session pass. And it's absolutely free, obligation free as well. Simply activate the Kickstart and you'll get to experience firsthand what 12 days of creating your dream body actually feels like. You can email us at amy@strongholdfitness.com.au. Now, my second question, why are you here? Take a moment to pause this video and jot down the real, deep and meaningful reasons as to why you're watching this presentation. You are here because? Pause this video now. Now that you're back with us, let's check and see if some of these reasons that you're here relate to some of the women I've seen in the past. Are you wanting to tone and shape your body? Remove excess body fat? Are you struggling to find the program that works? Are you wanting to drop a few dress sizes, or simply just wanting lifelong sustainable results? Well, I guess I've built up the suspense quite enough. If you answered yes to any of the previous questions, then you're really going to love the 10 tips to melt the fat. I'll be the first to say that I've really jam-packed and summarized years of knowledge into this presentation, and I've ensured I've kept it into an easy-to-follow format. Make sure you have a pen and paper, or simply print out the 10 tips to melt the fat ebook so that you can follow along as we go, taking notes. Remember, if you're wanting to get the most out of these 10 tips, then be sure to activate your free Kickstart Pass. This will allow you to experience firsthand what 12 days of creating your dream body actually feels like, obligation free. So email amy@strongholdfitness.com.au. There is more information about your Kickstart at the end of this presentation. Now, sit back, enjoy the experience, and take in as much as you can because we're about to unlock the 10 tips that are going to help you melt more fat fast. Dream body tip number 1. All right, ladies, let's get started. So make sure you've got your pen and paper ready and you take in as much information as you possibly can. So our first tip all starts here. Now, as you can see on your screens, this is a little bit of a joke. Yours might look more like this. And I'm talking about the brain and relating it to how we refer to it as like the mindset. Now, please be aware that the brain is the powerhouse of all human activity. When it comes to altering a state of health or fitness or changing your body shape, training of the mind seems to heavily be neglected in most other programs. Now, when was the last time you walked into a gym and then they sat you down to go through that initial consultation and it actually brought up the brain and started talking to you about your mindset? It's quite rare that they do, and most programs jump straight into the exercise and nutrition. So with these 10 tips, it's crucial that you understand that the first tip is all about the mindset. It's the powerhouse of all human activity. Now, the brain controls all your thought patterns, your positive and negative thought patterns. So be aware that there's sometimes two sides to everyone's mind. The healthy and non-healthy behaviors all come from the one place, your brain. The mindset's crucial here. So have a think of this scenario. Have you ever started a fitness program or thought, all right, come Monday, I'm going to eat super clean, train extra hard, I'm going to start my health kick, and I'm going to get the results I want before summer. But then by maybe Wednesday, Thursday, something happens to your mindset and it shifts a little bit and you go back into some unhealthy behaviors. This is all too common, but it's important that you're aware that this is all the one brain doing these things. Almost like having two split personalities. It's a little bit crazy, but I guarantee you it's not. You're very normal, and it does happen to all of us. Training of the mind is heavily neglected in most regular training programs. So it's important to be aware that it does need our attention. It needs our attention to create the body you desire. Now, the first tip for the 10 tips to melt the fat to do with the mindset is all about managing your stress. Because when we know that we're under stress, it's very hard to keep a healthy, positive mindset. And stress is the number one factor to push us into that negative red brain mindset that gets us further away from our goals. I can guarantee that no amount of exercise or nutrition can be achieved if your brain and your mindset are not in a positive mind frame. So who can relate to this image popping up on the screen? This woman is stressed. She's got work, fear, worry, anxiety. She's worried about financials, her family, her late nights, her paying her bills. She's got a headache. She's tired. She's been sick. She's run down. The list goes on. And I'm sure each of you watching can relate in some way, shape, or form being as stressed out as this girl. So I guess I'd like to highlight the different types of stress that can happen throughout our life. We can have psychological stress, things like your positive and negative thought processes. Now, you'll have these on a daily basis, positive and negative. You'll have your emotional stress, so the way you show out your emotions through laughing and crying. You'll have positive and negative responses day in, day out. You'll have physical stresses occur, things like injury, trauma, illness, even exercise. Now, I'll just highlight, exercise is a physical stress on the body. We'll go into explaining as to how, but it's important that you understand that exercise is a stress, and it is going to cause some sort of reaction on the body. Plus, we have environmental stress. These are things typically we can't generally control in today's society. Things like your toxins, pollutants, UV, noise. These are all types of stress. Now, having understood and listed the stresses here on the screen, I'd like to ask you this question. Is a stress-free world actually possible? So take a moment and think. I'll be the first to tell you that a stress-free world is simply not possible. With all those stresses that we listed, it's just merely impossible to try and get rid of them all. I mean, there's things that are going to happen through your daily lives, particularly exercise and positive experiences that are placing stress on the body. But have you ever heard of the saying that what doesn't kill you makes you stronger? Well, there's true meaning behind this, and it relates quite well with what we're talking about. Have a look at this chart here. I've used exercise as our example of the stress. Now, when exercise is coupled with the right amount of recovery, guess what we get? We get results. The body adapts to the changes, it gets stronger, and you get a result. This happens with lots of stresses. One other example is, for example, for the emotional stress. Let's think of crying while watching a movie, for example. Say the first time you watch that movie, you bawl your eyes out. It's highly emotional. But then something happens the second, the third, the fourth, maybe the fifth time you're watching it, and you tend to not cry as much. It's because you're adapting to those sort of stimulus. You're getting used to it and you're getting comfortable with it, and it takes more to make you cry. So these are just some simple, easy to follow examples of how a stress in the body can actually get you stronger. And it's all through adaptation. So you can see in the recovery, we've actually adapted. We've gotten some muscle adaptations, some aerobic fitness adaptations, neurologically as well, and it's all helped us get a result. So I'm here to say that stresses aren't 100% bad for the body, and we can't 100% get rid of all the negative stresses in our life. So having said that then, how does being stressed actually make us fat? Now, I'm sure I've got your attention because I'm sure you all want to know and check if you're getting fat from becoming stressed. So here it is. Now, I'm not going to get too scientific on you, but, oh, well, there we go. This is very simple to remember. You could just stop the video now and understand that stressed is dessert spelt backwards. So really, if you're under stress, there's a higher chance that you're going to be eating all the wrong stuff. But on a serious note, constant stress and no recovery is what's causing us to become fat. So here's a list again of all the stresses we mentioned earlier. The psychological, the emotional, the physical, the environmental. Any one of these stresses placed on the body without any recovery or management strategies is going to cause you to put on more weight. And it's not the body weight that you want. It's going to be the excess body fat that you're trying to remove. It's going to make it harder for you to get rid of it, and your goals can pretty much go out the window unless you start getting that recovery in. So we've mentioned it in the form of exercise before on that chart. Exercise without the recovery is going to be a constant stress on the body. And let's see what happens when that happens. Now, I'm not going to get too scientific, but basically cortisol is a hormone. Now, this is also known as a stress hormone, or as I like to call it, the fat hormone. When we're stressed, this becomes in the body at high levels. And this cortisol hormone slows down your metabolism, sends messages to your brain that tells you, well, the world's going to end and you're in fight or flight mode. So you're basically running an adrenaline. It also causes you to conserve all your energy stores and increase your cravings. Now, I bet right now you guys want to just go and get rid of all this hormone from your body, because how terrible is that? It's pushing you away from your results. Now, this hormone becomes in the body at high levels when you're under constant stress, and you can't do anything about it. It's just insane. However, we can put some great management strategies in place to prevent it. Now, this is just a quick chart on showing how stress, obesity, and cortisol all intertwine. You can see that the hormone is released from the pituitary gland and affects the whole system. So it's in the body, and you can get tested to see what sort of levels you have. But a simple way, ladies, is just to start managing your stress. So this is where our first tip comes in. Manage your stress, and we're going to turn this into this. Now, there's many types of stress management strategies out there. I'm going to give you just a few that you can start implementing into your weekly routine, and you should start straight away. Number one would be try some yoga. Yoga is a great way to focus on your breathing, your center, your core, and really zone out for that time that you're doing it too. Meditation, even better. Put yourself in a quiet room, light some candles, and really zone out and use some nice meditation music to give yourself that relaxation. Make sure you're eating healthily, fruits and vegetables throughout the day. You're going to need the vitamins and minerals to keep your mind at rest. Plus, remember to breathe. It's the number one vital sign that tells us that you're alive. When we're stressed, we tend to breathe really tightly through the chest. So make sure you start to take some deep breaths in through the nose. Allow your belly to relax and allow the breath to move through the body. Also, live a healthy, active lifestyle. It's very easy to understand that how this can help, really. So if you're doing some of these tips throughout the first week of starting your healthy, active lifestyle, I guarantee it's going to help you unlock your potential for transforming your body. Tip number 2. Now this brings us to the second dream body tip here. Now, tip number 2, following up from number 1, is all about, first, let's just find out this. Where do you get fat loss? Where do you get toning? Where do you go to get shaping, fitness, health benefits, and lifelong results? Now, take a moment to think about where you would go to get these things. I know what you're thinking, and I'm about to shock you. You get all this whilst you're asleep. Now, you're probably wondering, what is she talking about? How can I get fat loss and toning whilst I'm asleep? Well, it's all in the facts, ladies, and have a listen. Get your rest because it's super tip number 2. The proof is there. Those who do not regularly obtain adequate amounts of sleep each night are at higher risk of becoming overweight and obese. So once again, no matter how much exercise, no matter how healthily you eat, those that do not get the recovery are going to be overweight and obese. It's just proven. So remember tip number 1, we showed this table. We had exercise, recovery bringing a result. Now look at how important the recovery is. The exercise is just the stimulus. It just gets us started. It then allows you to then recover, and look at how much that happens through this recovery phase. When we leave the gym after a big workout, our body is then given the time and energy it needs, provided it's got the right nutrition, to recover from that workout. And have a look at the adaptations. We've got aerobic benefits, muscle benefits, neurological, energy and fluid replacement. All these things need to happen to equal a result. If there's anything that interrupts this recovery phase, then your chances of the result are going to be limited every single time. Now, there is an optimal range at which we need to have sleep. Now, it's important that we stay within this range because too little sleep, obviously we've mentioned it before, can lead to becoming overweight, and too much sleep can lead to severe weight gain as well. So it's important we get that optimal range. So how common is it really? Are you getting enough sleep? How about you ask your friends and family members, how are they feeling today? Just because it's common doesn't mean it's healthy. I mean, have a look at this picture. You can go through a supermarket or a shopping center and have a look around. It's almost a battle to try and find the healthy ones out there. How many times have you asked someone, "Hi, how are you feeling today?" And the responses you get are, "Oh, I'm tired, I'm okay, I'm coping, I can't wait for the weekend, meh, I'm alright." These responses are all too common, but just remember guys, it doesn't mean that it's healthy. And I'm not wanting you to have this journey. I want you to have the healthy, active lifestyle that you've always wanted, which means if someone asks you how you are, you're supposed to respond, "I feel great." And that's what we're going to try and work on here, so stick with me. Here's 5 ways to improve your sleep, therefore improve your recovery and allow for better results. Number 1, try and aim between 6 to 8 hours of uninterrupted sleep per night. Avoid using electrical devices such as TVs, phones, computers, electrical games within 1 to 2 hours of going to sleep. Why? These are full of artificial light, and what they do is they stimulate the mind. So you'll find it very hard to go to sleep after using some of these devices. How many of you have TVs in your bedrooms? I can guarantee that if you take this TV out or simply remember to turn it off 1 to 2 hours before going to sleep, you'll have a better night's sleep when you do. Avoid ingesting foods that contain high fast sources of energy within 3 hours of going to bed. These foods are things in a packet, really. Anything in a packet is usually going to be high in salt, sugar, or fats, and you don't want to be consuming it before going to bed, particularly 3 hours before. Avoid the fruits, the honeys, and the sweet drinks as well. These are high in sugar, and before bed, your body just doesn't need that fuel. Ask yourself the question, would you fuel up your car with petrol, pay for the petrol in your car when it's already full, or when it has nowhere to go? I don't think so. So before bed, your body probably needs the least amount of energy, so don't refuel it with all these energies because they're going to keep you awake at night. If you do decide to exercise of an evening, however, ensure a proper cool down and stretch and breathing program is performed. Make sure your heart rate is lowered before you leave the gym. Never leave a workout with that high heart rate feeling. Make sure you bring yourself down to a relaxed state so you can remove a lot of the high adrenaline going through your body. And number 5, be open to trying some of the relaxation techniques we mentioned earlier. You want to de-stress the body using meditation, yoga, zone exercises prior to bedtime. Use your health professionals to get some advice here. This brings us to tip number 3. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Now, I'm assuming you're thinking, when does exercise and nutrition come in? Well, I'm telling you guys, these first 3 tips are more important than exercising regularly and eating clean. You're going to need these first 3. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Water. Other than keeping you alive, guys, the benefits of staying hydrated are amazing, and they're directly related to what you've asked me for. They're going to assist you with proper digestion. They're going to help your food absorption. So remember how we said nutrition isn't really up to this level yet? It's because without the water, no matter how good you eat, you're not going to be able to digest it or absorb the nutrients properly if you're not hydrated. It's going to help regulate your body temperature and your blood circulation. It's going to help you through your workouts. It's going to remove a lot of toxins, so again, back to that digestion, and it's going to assist in your weight loss program. It's going to help you metabolize more fat, and it's going to keep your metabolism healthy. It's going to help maintain muscle tone, and it prevents dehydration, so therefore your brain functions better. Remember tip number 1, the brain is the most important part, so we need to make sure it's hydrated as well. So why are we still surviving without drinking enough water? I'm sure a lot of you are saying, oh, but I don't drink much water and I'm okay, I still get to the gym, I still eat right. Well, it's because we're such a strong species, and unfortunately our survival abilities are outstanding. Have a look, we've adapted from, to becoming computer nerds. No, I'm just kidding. But basically our bodies are quite strong, so unfortunately because we can adapt to some strong, severe environments. And we've been replacing a lot of the water with some artificial ones too. So have a look here. You're probably getting through the day staying hydrated to some degree because you're ingesting some of these fluids. But look, guys, look at how much sugar is inside some of the drinks that you've been choosing to drink. Would you actually ingest some of this sugar on its own? I don't think so. So I'm telling you to say no to the hidden calories and hydrate on fresh water. Now, you don't have to be too boring and have plain water. Adding some lemon or a bit of flavor to your water is okay. Trying herbal teas as well. Make sure they're decaffeinated because caffeine will dehydrate you further. So ask yourself the question, when was your last glass of water? And I hope you're not going to say, oh, it was when I brushed my teeth this morning. Make sure you've got a bottle with you all day and make sure it's full of fresh water with a bit of lemon for a bit of flavor if you like. Other than obviously keeping the signs of aging away, it's the number 1 most important nutrient, second to oxygen. So guys, that's why it's high on my list. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. 1 liter per 20 kilos of body weight is what you need. So weigh yourself and make sure you're getting enough water in your day. Tip number 4. Now finally, this is where it happens, guys. Your clean eating is here. Now, I know clean eating is quite popular these days and there's a lot of programs promoting it. And it generally relates to, cutting out all the high energy carbohydrates from your diet, things like breads, pastas, cereals, grains, and rice, and replacing it with more of your healthy fruits and vegetables and lean meats as well. Now, this is all good and well and it does work, and I preach this stuff to my clients day in and day out. But one key element that they forget to tell you is about the chemical-free eating. Now, we're going to talk about this today, clean and chemical-free eating. Now, here's a little joke just to spice things up. Some people think that clean eating meant devouring cupcakes while mopping the floor. This is not the case. So if you thought that, then listen up. Now, where people go wrong because they start their clean eating program and they cut out all the sugar from their diet, which is, yes, what we're aiming to do. However, then they convert that to chemical, I won't say the word in case there's kids in the room, but chemical storms. So they choose chemicals over calories. So they result to sugar-free, fat-free, 99% fat-free products, artificial products that are simply promoting the health benefits, but the health benefits just simply aren't there. They're highly processed foods. Take a look at your screen. What can you notice? When I presented this to a group of women, they noticed the color, the freshness, it's all natural produce, and they were correct. This is what clean eating is all about. Getting the fresh food and vegetables into your diet along with the lean meats. Now look at the color. This is what your plate should look like. It should be full of color, 3 meals a day. Now this is fresh clean eating, not from a packet. However, I'm going to show you some alarming things that some cleaning programs fail to tell you. Even the fresh fruit and vegetables that we get in the supermarkets have been genetically modified. Now, the difference between organic foods and farm-fed animals compared to commercially packaged farmed produce is huge. It can't even be compared. Now, going organic is important, and this is why. When you go organic, your body is going to absorb 300% more nutrients from the foods. So imagine this, comparing one piece of broccoli from organic and one from the general produce. Now, you're going to absorb 300% more nutrients from the organic brand because it's going to allow it to get into the body because it hasn't been under the manufacturing processes, transport processes that the other produce do to get towards the supermarket. Wow, that was a tongue twister, that one. Next, your body energy levels are going to drastically improve. When you go organic and you cut out a lot of the toxins that are in the produce, you will drastically be able to unlock more energy from the food. And this goes back to that first tip about the absorption. Your aches and pains and stresses will be reduced, and you'll limit the level of toxins in your bodies as mentioned before. How? The food that these grass-fed animals eat and the life it lives is completely natural, compared to the commercially farmed animals which are fed grains. There are minimal to no toxins influencing the organic produce, and it makes a huge difference. So this is where the clean eating programs don't allow enough attention to the organic produce. And I want to highlight that going organic, you will notice 300% more benefits in terms of your absorption, your energy levels, and your removal of toxins. Now, in doing this, it allows your body to be healthier and allows your body to unlock more energy and actually start to change. When your body's under stress from toxins, pollutants, it's going to want to put a bit of a wall up. And I've had many people eat as healthy as possible, but without going organic, they've noticed that they've hit a point where they can't get any further. Now, try where you can. It will definitely make a difference. Now, I'm going to be completely upfront and honest with you guys because I'm not going to stand here and say that organic is the way to go 900% of the time. But let's ask the question, how practical these days is it to go organic? And I know you're already sitting here wondering this, going, oh my gosh, the time and energy that's going to take for me to go organic is huge. I can't afford that. So guys, I've already thought about it for you. Yes, you do have to weigh up the time and the money it takes to go organic, and it can be quite hard. So I'm going to be honest with you there, but there are also some people out there doing it, and I don't want to shun them away. You guys can understand that there is a way. However, if you're willing to weigh up the time and money, then go for it. But all I'm saying is try where you can because society is really against us. It's very hard to find the organic produce in the supermarkets, and it's generally you have to drive to it or you have to pay more to get the organic produce. But try where you can because it will make a difference. Maybe start with just your vegetables or maybe start with just your meats and bits of items. It will make a difference where you can. Eat clean, chemical free. This brings us to tip number 5, which is directly related to your clean eating program. Now, we've spoken about clean and chemical-free eating, and we spoke about how by eating organic can help your absorption rates and get you more nutrients into the body. So this kind of relates to getting optimal nutrition. Now, throughout my years in the industry since 2008, I've trained many women who have eaten fantastic, followed all my methods, training, nutrition, rest, recovery, sleep patterns. Now, and still have gotten to a point where they couldn't get any further with their results. Now, this is all because something was missing in their optimal nutrition. Now, we're not talking about the glamorous external area here. We're going to go deep inside the body and talk about what's actually happening when we refuel our bodies. Now, on a cellular level, inside our gut, we have linings of our small intestinal wall called microvilli. They're like little fingers that brush up against all the food that comes through. Now, what happens is when we eat, we ingest the food in through our mouths, obviously. Now, a lot of processes then happen throughout the body to ensure that the nutrients is absorbed and utilized and all the waste products are removed. Now, these are the crucial steps that most people fail to talk about. The digestive system. Now, we're going to make sure that through optimal nutrition that we are absorbing the foods, taking the required nutrients and utilizing them so that your body can get the fantastic results it needs, and definitely ensuring that we're removing the waste products. Now, as babies, this happens perfectly because we're quite natural to the world and we're fresh, we're brand new. But as we get older, we get faced with things like toxins, stress, and pollutants, which you can see on these screens, and they make our digestive system a little bit more difficult to function. Now, if you're sitting there thinking that you have some digestive issues, ask yourself the question, have you ever had IBS? irritable bowel syndrome? Have you ever felt that your digestion changes day in, day out? Have you ever felt clogged up, bloated, or a little bit queasy in the stomach after certain foods? It means your digestion is not efficiently working. Now, this is in so many people that I meet, and I know it's an embarrassing topic, but you'll know if you've got it. And if you do, listen up. Optimal nutrition is all about the health of your cells. Have a look at your healthy cells versus your non-healthy cells. Now, on my left, an unhealthy cell is one that only allows some nutrients to get in and only some nutrients to get out. So you can see how the system can get quite clogged up and malnourished. Now, a healthy cell allows a lot of nutrients to get in and all the waste products to get out because it has a nice soft permeable membrane. Now, we want to achieve to get these healthy cells throughout the entire body. And the only way to do that is to achieve optimal nutrition. Now, how do we do that? You need to make sure that when you're eating and ingesting food, you are getting the correct amount of vitamins, minerals, macronutrients into the body. Now, I'm not going to bore you with giving you systems where you have to weigh and measure all your foods. There are simpler ways, but it is vital, guys, that you understand that without the right vitamins, minerals, and macronutrients in each meal, you are not going to achieve optimal nutrition, you are not going to get sufficient digestive systems occurring, and you're not going to get the results that you want long term. Number 2, you're going to have to improve your body's ability to absorb these nutrients. So we might be getting all the nutrients in, but we then need to be able to absorb them and use them so that the villi can really work inside the body to break down the food. And 3, we need to make sure that we're getting rid of the waste products efficiently. We need proper bowel functions. I mean, it's fine for the first 2 things to happen, but if we're not getting rid of the waste, your system becomes clogged up and full of toxins, and it's just not going to want to budge. I've had clients improve their optimal nutrition within 21 days and notice over 10 centimeters off their waistline. And this has been a massive reduction in bloating and digestive issues gone within 21 days of changing their optimal nutrition, simply by getting the vitamins, minerals, macronutrients into their diet and following the steps up until now. So therefore, it's all about improving your cellular health. Now, remember tip number 2, all these stresses that happen throughout our environment, these make it extremely difficult for us to get optimal nutrition because these stresses increase the toxins in our body. So the missing link, guys, is we need a little bit of support. Now, the products you're seeing on the screen are designed specifically to make sure that you get optimal nutrition. I take these myself, and throughout the day, they help me unlock more energy from my food, and I still eat quite a lot of food because I'm quite active. These help me unlock all the energy from that food. They help me store the right energy, remove the waste, and they help my digestive tract work a lot better. I noticed an energy shift within the first 7 days, and I know that you will the same. So you can give us a call or ask us about these products as you're moving through. But know that the vitamins and minerals are vital to make sure that you're getting optimal nutrition. So far, guys, we're about halfway. Now, the 10 tips to melt the fat we've gone through: managing your stress, getting sufficient recovery, hydrating, aiming for chemical-free nutrition, and of course, providing your body with optimal nutrition. Now, if you're not going to go any further, if you've had enough for today, make sure you take down these first 5 tips. They're the most important. Without these, the rest will not allow you to get the body that you desire. And just highlight that we haven't even touched on exercise yet. It's because it's not important yet. These first 5 are the crucial elements to get you started. So make sure you've got notes up until now on managing your stress, getting sufficient recovery, hydrating your body, chemical-free eating, and providing optimal nutrition. So just to make sure that you're all still there and excited, just remind yourself, who wants this? Who wants a tight, toned tummy? Who wants a firm, uplifted bun? And who wants firm, thin thighs that fit into those skinny skirts and tight jeans? I know you want them because that's why you're here. So get excited because we're going to uncover the next 5 tips to creating your dream body. So guys, these next 5 tips are going to complete your 10 tips to help melt the fat in the fastest amount of time possible. Tip number 6, exercise. Periodization. This is the key. Now, for those of you that don't know, periodization is all about phasing your exercises into groups of time. So just to make that a bit clear, because that might have come across a little bit confusing. Have you ever started a fitness program or joined a gym and started your membership and gone months without changing anything and realized that, well, in these months, I've actually not gotten anywhere either? Exercise needs to be prescribed and periodized over the course of time, progressing your strength levels, progressing your fitness levels, and progressing your techniques, making it harder as you go along, but in accordance to your current level of fitness and ability. You need to follow a well-designed, periodized plan. Now, it's crucial. I've seen so many women fail and waste their time and energy on expensive memberships and training regimes that weren't well designed. The science is there, and we can provide you with well-designed, periodized plans that get you toning and shaping your body for lifelong results, and it just works time and time again. Make sure you get the expert advice. There's no point you taking the pressure of designing your own program and using Google searches and bits and drabs of all types of different products. It's just not going to be consistent and not provide you with the specific exercises that your body needs. Now, I will say specific, there is not one exercise that is going to suit everybody. Everyone's body is different, and we're full of muscle imbalances. Following a functional, well-designed, periodized program specific to you is going to be the key to getting the results that you want that are lifelong, sustainable results. I mean, you can do a generic program, but you're also going to get generic results. So you need to ask yourself the question, do I want ultimate personalized results for my body? If you do, then getting expert advice and assistance in designing your very own personalized plan is crucial. Your program should keep you in good health. You should never really feel overly exhausted from your program. Now, I will explain that in a bit more detail to make sense. Now, obviously, when you're exercising, yes, you are going to get tired and exhausted, but overall, after weeks and weeks, you shouldn't feel exhausted when you're not exercising. Your exercise program should keep you fully energized throughout the day. Your program should include the proper rest and recovery weeks as well. Your body's going to have periods where it feels stronger and periods where it feels a little bit weaker. Your program needs to be able to adjust to this, and the right changes based on your expert advice should be there. So make sure that you've got this advice to help you through these times. Now, this is a crucial part. If you miss these rest and recovery weeks, you'll be pushing yourself through too much exercise when you're supposed to be resting, and this can be detrimental. Remember the first 5 tips and how important rest was to ensuring results? We need to taper these programs to your individual needs. Now, this brings us to our next tip, number 7. Muscle mass matters. Now, it's a huge misconception, particularly amongst women, that building muscle mass is going to get them feeling bulky and big and heavy. Now, this is not true. However, I will say that yes, muscle does weigh more than fat, but muscle mass is actually what you've been asking us for all along. Here's some benefits about building muscle. Muscle metabolizes body fat. It's the only thing in your body that will. Now, if you start a program that doesn't allow your body to build muscle, for example, too much cardio, you're going to end up with this soft, you might lose weight, but this soft body feeling. You're not going to get the tone, sharp, firm, sexy looking body that you've been asking us for. Muscle is also the fountain of youth. It keeps us younger. Think of how much benefit you'll have from being strong and having some muscle mass into your later years. You're going to be more functional and able, and you're going to keep your youth. You're going to be able to do things that others can't. You're going to get that tone-shaped, firm look and feel, and it really is, guys, it really is what you've been asking us for. Now, most women think that when they start a weight training program that they're going to end up looking like this guy. I'll tell you now that women do not possess enough testosterone naturally and do not have the years of training experience within them for the gym environment to end up looking like this guy. I mean, there are women that do bodybuilding, which is fantastic, but just know that they've put years of training experience and proper eating to get their bodies to that level. And we don't recommend you get there unless you really want to. So I can assure you, you won't look like this guy or anything near it. What you can look like, however, is something more on the lines of this. A healthy, firm, and healthy-looking body that you've always wanted. Which brings us to tip number 8. Now, we mentioned cardio not really being the answer to a tight, toned, firm body when we mentioned our weight training. But we do want to have cardio in our routine because it does help us burn a lot of calories and obviously helps us with our fitness as well. But we don't want to waste too much time doing it, so we need to follow time-saving cardio techniques that ensure you burn fat fast and keep burning fat when you're not exercising. Now, you're not going to need more than 0.5% of your week dedicated to cardio. So this already should be getting you asking questions. Know that there's 168 hours in the week. This will equate to only 15 to 30 minutes at a time and roughly 2, maximum 3 times a week of cardio. This is all that you need, ladies. Now, when we talk about time-saving cardio, we're referring to short, high-intense interval training, where you send your body to periods of high intensity, where you're working at 100% of your effort, and giving yourself intermittent rest periods. This is going to ensure you get the most out of your workout, because basically you wouldn't be able to sustain 100% intensity across a 30-minute period. So we throw little intervals in there to make sure that you get the most out of that workout. Now, our Dream Body workout pack that you've got included has been specifically designed to give you short, high-intense interval training for 15 to 30 minutes per session. So you can use these to get you started. Now, unless you genuinely enjoy long, steady cardio, for example, if you're training for a running event or a fitness event that needs it, then great. Go along and spend your time training. But you know what? If you don't enjoy it and you don't want to waste any time on the cardio machines, guess what? You don't have to achieve your tone-shaped body. All you need is 0.5%, so 0.5% in your week, and no more than 15 to 30 minutes at a time of short, high-intense interval training. Use our workout videos to get you started. This brings us to tip number 9. Now, this one's quite obvious, but I want you to take the time in really understanding that I'm very serious about this one. None of the 8 tips that we've mentioned earlier are going to work without this tip. And of the hundreds of women that have succeeded, they've all done this. They've implemented what they've learned. There's no quick fix, guys. I need you to understand that. There's only more efficient ways of doing things to get the body you desire. I'm giving you the more efficient ways. Implementing all the above will then help you move to tip number 10. When you're implementing things, there's going to be some changes happen with your family and friends. They're going to notice that you're doing things differently, whether it's in your eating, your behavior patterns. You might be going to bed early, like we've said. You might be trying some of these relaxation techniques. They might notice your skin change, your energy levels spike up when usually you're a little bit down. This is all going to spark questions, and they're going to ask you what you're doing. Now, I want you to listen to this. I have never met a person who has achieved their ultimate dream body results who hasn't brought along at some point a family member, a friend, or someone in their community. I have never met someone that hasn't inspired others along their journey. And this made me think, wow, this must be a really important part of the dream body creation. This must be one of the 10 tips. And it was. Because through helping others, I found that you end up helping yourself. You make yourself accountable to those people. They become really interested in what you're doing, and they probably want to come along for the journey. It makes you accountable to implement everything properly and educate them on what you've learned. Think about paying it forward. Now, if you love your family and friends, which I know all of you do, you're going to want them to come on this journey with you. Now, I will highlight that it can't be forced, and I won't encourage you to go point fingers and try and get them all to come along now, but just be patient. If you're implementing the 9 tips correctly, at some point, someone in your life is going to question what you're doing. This is your opportunity to implement tip number 10. So I want you to remember this moment. When that person approaches you, remember, this is your opportunity. You've done it. You've succeeded. You've gotten all the way to the point where you're ready to inspire someone else. And you're going to do that. You're going to help them by educating them on the 9 tips and then the 10th when they're ready as well. You can do that by sharing this DVD or even just sharing the 10 tips to melt the fat ebook. By helping others, you're going to help yourself. And that's what these women did. They're creating healthy, active lifestyles for their family and friends, and they're loving it. You can tell by the look on their faces. And we want you to help us too. We want to grow this vision. We want hundreds and hundreds and hundreds more women to experience the dream body creation. Now, so far, ladies, we've gone through the complete 10 tips. So let's just recap. We've gone through managing your stress, getting sufficient recovery, hydrating, aiming for chemical-free nutrition, providing optimal nutrition, exercising properly and getting the expert advice, building your muscle mass, completing the right amount of cardio, and implementing all the above. Importantly, inspiring others and telling your friends that they can do it too. Now I'm going to give you one super tip. Accountability. Accountability is the key to unlocking your full potential in all these 10 tips that I've mentioned earlier. Accountability is what's going to make you stick to your plan and get to where you need to go in the required time frame. Now, to make yourself accountable, it's also important to know, well, what are the things that could stop you getting towards your goals? So, and this is what brings up the question, all the tips that I've mentioned so far, I do not stand as groundbreaking. I'm not going to tell you that I've come up with them on my own, and I'm not going to tell you that I've invented them out of nowhere from some scientific experiment that I did. It just hasn't happened. These are all quite common tips, yes, I know. But where we fail is we fail to implement them, and we fail to inspire others, and we fail to make ourselves accountable. So have a look. I've circled some of the ones that I feel definitely miss in most women's journeys. They tend to get all the other ones right when they're trying really, really hard, but we tend to forget to provide optimal nutrition, implementing all of it, and making ourselves accountable. So make sure, above all, you take note and make sure you're doing these 3 things. Now, I will tell you a bit of a scary statistic, and it's not to scare you away, but 70% of the women who watch this video are not going to achieve their dream body results. This is not because I'm being mean. This is because society has shown that 70% of people that get started onto a program fail. No matter what program it is, there's going to be a drop-off rate. Now go back to tip number 1 and 2, and I want you to remember that I've highlighted and strongly recommended that you manage your stress and get sufficient recovery, because without a healthy mindset, you are not going to achieve. Now 70% of these people who fail tend to have a mindset challenge happen throughout their journey. And this is your opportunity to overcome it, ladies. So remember this moment. Remember that 70% of people watching this presentation will not achieve their goals because at some point, the first 5 tips will get in the way, particularly the mindset and the rest recovery periods. You want to reduce your stress levels, guys, and remember that a healthy mind leads to a healthy body. So ladies, up until this point, I've taken you through the 10 tips that are going to help you melting the fat fast. I've also shared with you a bit of a scary statistic that 70% of you watching this presentation could potentially fail at getting the dream body that you so desperately deserve. Now, I don't want you to be one of those 70%, which is why I'm going to prepare you for all the what not to do's on how to create your dream body. I would like to really improve that statistic and get that percentage a little bit lower so that more people succeed. The only thing that can help me do that is you. So make sure you're aware on how to fail and ensure you don't do the following things. So if you wish to fail at creating your dream body, then quick, you should implement the following. But obviously, we know that you're here because you don't want to do these things, so just be aware of them and make sure that you, along your journey, are aware that these could pop up. Complete the 10 tips and melt the fat in the wrong order. Just do what you like. Now, I've seen so many women just take bits and pieces out of the 10 tips and start doing them in drips and drabs and not really taking it from the beginning to the end. What will happen is you'll notice that you'll hit a wall and something just won't work. So for example, trying to do the exercise and nutrition component isn't going to get you to where you want to go unless your mindset and your stress levels are at a good level. So I've specifically put these in a step 1 to step 10 order to ensure that you understand that without tip 1, you're never going to get the ultimate transformation. Another way to fail is that you can try to do every possible exercise class and drastically change your eating habit within the first 7 days. Try and implement everything in the right order and get it 100% right within 7 days or less. I've seen so many women go really hard, and this is where most people fail. It's because they go too hard too soon. They get a little bit ahead of themselves and a little bit too excited with their newfound motivation. And they tend to drastically change their lifestyles to such a large degree that it's just not sustainable. And I see this through most programs. Now, if you want to succeed, make sure that you start to implement the ones that are comfortable to you and gradually make the bigger changes later. I assure you that if you're after lifelong sustainable results, there's no real urgency here. However, you can get some fantastic results by doing tip 1, 2 to tip 10 in the best possible way that you can. It's okay if you get a little bit wrong, because then you can always go back and perfect it, and that's what's going to keep you moving forward. Another way to fail? Just do it alone. Use all the information from today and just put all the pressure on your shoulders to get it right. I've seen so many women do this. They put themselves in the expert shoes, and along with managing their lifestyles, their families, and their gym routine, they just don't have the time to manage it all. And that's not your fault. It's completely normal. I wouldn't be able to do it all myself either. I enlist in my own support to make sure that I keep doing the things I need to do to get to where I want to be one day. So don't go it alone. Use the experts that we have available, use our team, and make sure that you're getting the support to make sure your mindset is always on track. I've provided you with enough DVDs to get started, but at some point you're going to need a little bit of extra assistance, and that's okay. Number 4, start taking on board what you read on the net, in the newspapers, what your friend says, and what other trainers say, what you heard all those years ago. This is all too common, and the reason is because the fitness industry is filled of a lot of information, and it's on a lot of different things as well, and there's many different views on every different topic. So ladies, it's very confusing to then try and succeed when you've got all these different things happening. So try and focus your mind on one method. If you're really going to give this a crack, only focus on the 10 tips to melt the fat and don't let anything else interfere with what we've asked you to do. By doing this, you're going to get a really good honest measure of whether it's effective or not, and I can guarantee you it is. Those that take drips and drabs of everything that they see tend to create a mess and never really get to see the results they want to achieve. Next, fall into the trap of self-sabotage. Allow your mindset to carry on and run away with you. Now, this is a big common factor that happens to most women. They don't pay enough attention to their mindset and self-sabotage gets in the way. The first thing I could advise here is be really honest with yourself. Try and document all your nutrition down on paper. Write down your feelings and your energy levels. By documenting it, you can always go back and check what you actually felt and what was actually going on. It's your accountability to make sure that you're tracking along the way, because the mind can get a little bit carried away at times. Your good days, your bad days, your okay days, your super excited days, they all tend to just blend in. So make sure you're documenting as you're going along, and you can gradually increase and set little goals for yourself to avoid self-sabotage. So up until this point, we've got the 10 tips to melt the fat. I've given you some key tips on how to avoid failure at creating your dream body. I also want to then look into the future. We don't just want short changes. We want dream body lifestyle. We want the lifelong sustainable results that are going to keep for good and actually last forever. So how do you do this? Well, what most other programs and I guess trainers fail to tell you is that it doesn't happen overnight. We get so excited at times and advertise these fantastic short time periods to get results, and I'm going to be completely honest and upfront with you here. We can get fantastic results in a short amount of time. However, the lifelong sustainable results definitely don't happen in that time. They happen in a little bit of a longer period of time. Now, have a look here. What most trainers, I guess, are afraid to tell you is that many programs out there only focus on the initial phases, also known as the kickstart phases or the transformation stages. Now, these do occur. You do get rapid results fast when you enter some of these programs, including ours. However, by doing this, you end up trapped. By only focusing on the kickstart phases, the initial phases of any program, you're going to get trapped and possibly get caught in what I like to call the deja vu loop. How many times have you sat in front of a fitness professional and explained your goals to them? Have you been there more than once? If you've actually gone through your goal setting with someone or gotten started on a program more than once, it means that you've entered a journey and something's happened along the way which has set you back, and now you're back again at the starting point. If this is you, then I want you to listen carefully, because I want to teach you how to create your dream body lifestyle and get past those roadblocks. Get past and onto the other side, which means lifelong sustainable results. Now, I just want to highlight what it actually means to have the dream body lifestyle. Now, entertain the possibility of you having this in the next few months. The dream body lifestyle is where you get to live each day knowing that you're happy, healthy, and looking the way that you want to look. You no longer have to worry about how much exercise that you have to fit into your week because you're just a healthy, active person anyway. You no longer have to worry about what you're eating and when you're eating, because naturally your body's just got that automatic response and you're eating constantly because that's just how you live. Your family are doing the same things. Your network of friends are doing the same things. It's very easy for you to maintain. The dream body lifestyle is a happy, healthy, and active one. You're going to get there if you follow these things. avoid the deja vu loop, and achieve your lifestyle results. Now, I've got this table here, which I want you to picture that this arrow is directing all the way up to where your dream body lifestyle is. We have these kickstart phases, which generally are about 8 to 12 weeks long. The dream body in itself has an 8-week initial program, and most other programs you'll see will be between 8 to 12 weeks time. They do this because you can get a lot of rapid changes there. However, we want to talk about how to get your dream body creations lifestyle results. This is where you get what I explained before, those lifelong sustainable results where you no longer have to think about how much exercise you're doing, and you no longer have to think about what you're putting in your mouth, because it's just happening. It's automated. It's who you are. Now, this is my deja vu loop. So what happens is people will enter at the starting point, so over here. They'll start their journey and get rapid results. Sometimes they'll do too much too soon, and they'll loop back around, realize that they can't maintain it, and end up, yes, a little bit better than where they were before, but still at the bottom. Then they'll start another program. They'll say, right, I'll do something different this time. And they'll get themselves all the way up, get good results, end up quite high on their results scale, but then something will happen and they'll go back again. And you can see that this can go on and on. You can see the time it's going to take you to get to the top is a very long time. And by that time, sometimes you can get frustrated, and this frustration can send you all the way back to square one. And you find yourself sitting in front of a health professional, once again going through your goals. This is a deja vu loop. Now, we want to get you a tight, toned, firm stomach, bum and thighs, full body even, and keeping it off forever. We want to keep them firm for life. Now, to do this, let me explain what will happen in the initial 8 weeks in our program. In the initial 8 weeks, your kickstart of results will occur. We have seen women lose between 5 to 19 kilos within this time. It's been amazing. You've definitely overcome a lot of your mindset blocks, and your body will be rapidly changing. You're definitely going to be filled with a lot of education, and you're going to learn the steps it's going to take to then progress you into the next phase. Now, the next phase is simple. Within 6 months of starting your dream body lifestyle, you'll definitely have undertaken a body transformation. You'll have the toning and shaping that you've always wanted, and you can lose up to 20 to 50 kilos. We've seen this happen in the women that have done our programs. You'll have noticeable external changes, a newfound passion for what you're actually doing, nutrition and exercise, plus the feedback from your family and friends will be noticeable. People will be wondering what you're doing and what your secret is. Now, the third phase, which most health professionals fail to tell you about, over the first year of entering your dream body lifestyle, this is where the lifestyle transformation happens. You no longer have to weigh yourself. There's no more weight loss to actually happen anyway. Your ultimate body results of the mind and body are there, and you're attempting new challenges, things that you never thought were possible. You're never looking back, and you are the new you. And this is where we want to get you, and where we can get you if you follow these steps. So I guess what's next for you? Well, you have two options. You can walk away and continue what you've been doing all this time. Or two, you can take action towards creating your dream body lifestyle. Now, I want to make sure that you understand not to expect anything different in results when you've been doing the same thing. So I guess, what are you going to do next? Well, I hope that you're going to take action. And I want to congratulate you because up until this point, you have. You've invested in professional support and education. You guys have gotten your hands on these DVDs and you're learning. You're up to this point, which is great. 2, what's left is to activate your free Kickstart bonus. We at Dream Body have given you the opportunity to experience firsthand what it's like to create the Dream Body lifestyle. And this would be true action taking if you take this next step. It's going to include a 12-day 5-star gym facility access pass, a 45-minute goal setting session, a 30-minute PT session, and a free pass to our Dream Body team session. This is completely obligation free. If you're not happy, we're fine to let you go. We want to make sure that the program's for you. So we want to give you this experience to trial it before you get started. You'll get some fantastic results in these 12 days as well. I've seen some amazing weight loss changes in toning and shaping happen. So your next step does not cost a cent, guys. So there's really nothing left to do but take action. You've got nothing to lose. So here's what you get. You're going to get the 12-day 5-star gym facility access pass. You're going to have a 45-minute personal, privatized goal setting session, a 30-minute private personalized personal training session, plus a Dream Body team session pass. Who can see the value in that? Well, I can tell you that there's $159 in value in what we're giving you away for free. So don't lose this opportunity. It's not going to be available forever. So just to see these things popping up on the screen, it's your time to take action now. So do you remember Lynn? We spoke about her earlier on with her results. Here's what she had to say about the Dream Body 8-week initial program that she got started on after her kickstart. It's done so much for her confidence. She looks in the mirror and she feels like it's a very emotional experience because she finally looks at the person who she's always wanted to look at. She's very happy and grateful for the experience. 34 kilos away from her starting weight. Plus, I've got a special bonus for you today as well, ladies. By taking action today, you can take a friend with you on the journey. That's right. We're going to double everything that we've given you in the package. You and your friend could be experiencing the Dream Body lifestyle within seconds. All you need to do is make a booking now. You can email us at amy@strongholdfitness.com.au and the ball's in your court. All that's left to do is to take action for the complete Dream Body experience. Now I'm going to leave you with a couple of snippets of some testimonials of women who have taken on the Dream Body journey. Here's Joy Chapman. 12 months into her journey, is 20 kilos lighter, and she's living the Dream Body lifestyle. She wants to congratulate everyone else as well. You're all winners. Here's Linda Bono again, 34 kilos off her starting weight. Janelle has lost over 28 kilos. Her husband has to look twice to make sure it's really her. She's loving the experience and she's overwhelmed by how good she feels. Kylie, she loves the group training, constant support, mindset guidance, and she finds it amazing. If you're thinking about doing it, she says, just do it. Morella, after 4 frustrating years of trying to lose her pregnancy weight, the 8-week Dream Body program has allowed her to achieve that, all in 8 weeks. Belinda, as a new mum, she struggled to find the time for herself, but she's pleased to say that after 4 weeks, she's dropped 20 centimeters, 2.5 kilos, and 2 dress sizes. Miranda, she feels fantastic. It's been 7 weeks into her journey. She's lost 5 kilos and over 20 centimeters around her body. She can't wait to keep going and inspire others. Janine, after 5 weeks, lost 45 centimeters, dropped from her body, 3 dress sizes, and can really feel the difference. Melina, she's toned and shaped her body, lost percentages of body fat, and feels fantastic. So ladies, I can't say much more. You guys have the ball in your court and we hope to speak to you soon through your Dream Body Kickstart Pack. So ladies, you're finally there. You've watched the 10 tips to melt the fat presentation. I hope that it's thoroughly given you an insight to all that you need to know to get started. And I promise you that if you implement these 10 tips, you will get the dream body that you deserve. Now, I want to congratulate you because not only have you taken action in accepting these bonus offers, but you've also now educated yourself. So the first 2 steps in terms of getting your dream body are now complete. However, there's one crucial step left to go. I'm sure you can assume what's happening next. Basically, we need to take action. All this great information, all this education, all the time spent learning about what you need to do will not go to anything until we take action. So at this point, I really want to stress the importance of you utilizing your free Kickstart Pass. We've given you the opportunity, no obligation, and it's completely free to make your dream body come to life. This free Kickstart Pass will give you a 12-day 5-star gym facility access, plus a 45-minute goal setting session with one of our trainers, plus a 30-minute personal training session designed to tailor to your needs. Plus you'll get a Dream Body team session pass so that you can start experiencing the Dream Body program firsthand with like-minded women. Now, there's nothing left to do, guys. Take action and take advantage of your free pass before it's too late, because this offer will only be available for a limited time. Once you've gotten started, your trainer will get to know you a little bit better, and they're great. They're really friendly. They'll want to know a little bit about your background and what you're hoping to achieve. And they'll make sure the Dream Body program is for you. Now, if you have any further questions or wondering about our program options, they'll also go through that during your Kickstart Pass. So all that's left to do, guys, is activate your Kickstart. You can do this by emailing me at amy@strongholdfitness.com.au, and I'll ensure one of our team is in contact with you ASAP. So I hope to see you soon and working out and enjoying your dream body lifestyle.